We're always hearing about how artificial intelligence is going to revolutionize the battlefield, right? Making decisions faster and smarter than any human ever could. But is that really the whole story? What if the very thing that makes AI so incredibly powerful in a simulation is actually its greatest weakness when things get real?
And look, it's not just hype. In some areas, AI is already superhuman. I mean, you look at simulations like DARPA's Alpha Dogfight. AI pilots have consistently flown circles around some of the best human pilots on the planet. They are absolutely dominant in controlled environments where the rules are clear.
Yeah, but a clean simulation? That's one thing. The chaos, the fog, the pure friction of a real war, that is something else entirely. So the question we have to ask is, can an algorithm truly command when everything starts to fall apart? To even start to answer that, we need a way to think about military decision-making. And for that, we're going to turn to an absolute classic, the legendary fighter pilot John Boyd's OODA loop. You know it: observe, orient, decide, and act. Now, most of us, when we think of the OODA loop, we picture this simple, neat little circle on the left. But what Boyd actually created, well, that's the beast on the right. It's not a simple loop at all. It's a complex, tangled web of feedback loops and cognitive processes. It shows the messy reality of how we really make decisions under immense pressure. And right at the heart of all that complexity, there's one crucial element. It's almost always overlooked, but it is the engine that drives the entire process. And once you understand it, believe me, it changes everything. Welcome to the big O, orientation. See, for Boyd, this wasn't just one step in a sequence. No way. This was the absolute center of gravity for decision-making. It's the cognitive engine that gives meaning to everything else in that loop. So, what is orientation? Well, think of it as the sum total of our deeply human traits. It's our cultural traditions, our past experiences, our gut feelings, our ability to analyze and synthesize new, often conflicting bits of information. It's all the stuff that makes you, you. The stuff a machine simply doesn't have. Boyd himself put it perfectly. Orientation is the lens through which we see the world. It dictates what we even notice in that first observe phase. Without it, raw data is just noise. Orientation is the context that turns all that information into actual understanding. And this is where the rubber meets the road. This brings us to the core conflict. What happens when you pit a system that thrives on data and order against the fundamental nature of war, which is chaos itself? I mean, just look at this comparison. It lays out the problem perfectly. On one side, you've got AI's comfort zone: stable systems, big data, clear rules, predictable patterns. And on the other side, you have the reality of war: total chaos, incomplete information, enemies trying to trick you, and constant, shocking surprises. They're two completely different worlds. The great military theorist Karl von Clausewitz had a name for this mismatch. He called it friction. It's everything that can and will go wrong, the countless little things that make even a simple plan incredibly hard to pull off. And here's the paradox. AI systems, which are designed to reduce friction, often end up creating new and totally unexpected kinds of it inside an organization. This technological friction creates a really fascinating and, frankly, a really dangerous new dilemma for the modern command structure. So, modern militaries run on a philosophy called mission command. The whole idea is to decentralize. A commander gives the overall goal, the intent, and then empowers junior leaders on the ground to use their own judgment and initiative to make it happen. It's a system built entirely on human trust. Mission command creates what's called the strategic corporal, an empowered leader on the front lines. But AI introduces this powerful temptation, the tactical general. With a perfect God's eye view streaming back to headquarters, senior commanders are tempted to jump in and micromanage battles from miles away. And this isn't just bad management. When a general makes tactical choices from an office, they strip away all the local context and agility, creating this brittle, slow-to-react command structure that can shatter when things get tough. And listen, this is not just some academic fear. General Mark Milley gave this stark warning that this very tendency towards centralization, which is fueled by technology, is making the military less adaptable, the exact opposite of what you need to win. So, all of this leads us to a really powerful and maybe even counterintuitive conclusion about the future of command and technology. This simple diagram really shows the proper role for technology. It's fantastic at the bookends of a decision. Automated systems for early warnings and automated systems to carry out a response. But that critical space in between, that bridge that takes you from raw data to a committed decision, that has to be the domain of human judgment, period.
And that brings us to the great paradox of our time. As our machines get better and better at prediction, that uniquely human quality of judgment, it doesn't become obsolete. It becomes infinitely more valuable.
Because the real danger of leaning too heavily on technology is that the very skills we need most in a crisis, flexibility, creativity, adaptability, they can start to atrophy. We risk becoming less prepared to handle the chaos and uncertainty that machines can't, precisely because we've outsourced our thinking to them. So at the end of the day, the final question really isn't about the intelligence of our machines. It's about our confidence in our own humanity. As our tools get smarter and more powerful, we have the wisdom and maybe the courage to trust our own judgment when it matters most.